Hey legends! It looks like the round 5 carnage continued this weekend with a whole bunch of players just going down again. You know, Tedesco went out. In fact, half the Roosters team I think had some sort of issue, whether it was sin bin, sent off, or concussion, which was just crazy. Big Latrell here on screen doing stupid things. It looks like he's now gone for 3 weeks, probably deserves more. We had some superstars underperform, and we had a few former guns back to their best, which was awesome to see. So with all of that in mind, let's get into it. Okay, so here is the week that was for me and my team. Now, interesting stuff this week. Like, I was able to field a full team of 17 players, but just didn't really have the impact we were looking for. So it would have been nice if this dip had have started to go up, remembering that we only were able to field 16 players last week. So now that we have 17, we did expect, upwards of a few thousand points. So to be pretty much steady week on, week out was really disappointing for me, especially given that we had so many players losing some superstar names like Tedesco. There's a lot of points wrapped up in a Tedesco. And if it wasn't for that, we probably would have been going backwards. So we'll get in and have a look at the team in a second, but we really do need to start making moves northward. And that's what this week is all about for me, making some changes that hopefully have a positive impact in my team. Now, as you can see here, we're back into the 700s, which I really like, 721. So that's a positive direction from a round score point of view. But rank-wise, and you can see that down here, it's really not where we need to be. So week on week on week, what we want to be doing is having a round rank that's lower than our overall rank. So that's the goal. And you can really see that when we do that, they're the weeks that you have this big positive momentum. So that's what we want to get back to. Now, before we go and have a look at the team, let's have a look at some of the changes that we made. So Joey Chan was out and Talangi came in, which is great. Unfortunately, he just didn't get the score that we were looking for. So only 19 from Talangi. And we were hoping somewhere around the 40 mark would have been a much better on-par kind of score for him. Now, having said that, look, it's 21 points. It's not the end of the world. The net changes for us, we only made the one trade, so we did manage to save a trade. So that, I think, is a bit of a bonus this week. So the net impact really is only 19 points that we gained as a team, and we moved the team value forward 23 additional K with the addition of Talangi. So, there's some positives there. There's some green shoots. Was it an amazing trade? It's debatable, especially if Joey Chan comes back this week and knocks it out of the park. Now, I don't think he's going to be back. I think Sean Bloor has probably cemented that edge spot for a little while, so I think we're pretty safe with the trade that we made, and hopefully Talangi can come out and absolutely kill it. I think they're playing at home this week, so fingers crossed Talangi and the Parramatta Eels can absolutely smash it out of the park. Now, let's keep moving. Okay, so here is the team slide, and I'll go through a couple of players that I would consider on the chopping block. But first up, Sammy Hughes. So a couple of weeks ago, he pumped out an 8, and on the weekend, he got the 47. Now, stupid me, I did have him in the interchange team. I think I had him up here where Trebojevic is. But just before kickoff, the coach Cameron Serraldo dropped him down to reserve. So when he did that, I then put Hughes in my emergencies. So unfortunately, it looks like I've lost out not too many points between Burbo and Hughes. So, I could have been, 15 odd points better off, but nothing substantial there for sure. Now, I really was very happy with Jesse Arthur's 49. That gets him making money. He was on the chopping block because I thought he had peaked last week. Now, he will survive. In fact, he will come into my starting team this week, and I'll talk about that in a second. I'm very happy I didn't punt Joey Lussick, but he does remain as a player worth considering to move on at some stage in the future. I think the only thing that's really going to save him at this point is the fact that he does play the first major bye round. So if he continues to perform well, then he will survive through until at least that point in time. Burbo was fine, 33, nothing amazing. he's probably one that we look to move on from pretty quickly. And Levi with 31 was okay. He continues to make money. So that's pretty much the bench this week. So obviously, Lockie Galvin won't come back in round 6. He'll still be out. Brendan Piakura, he's a maybe. Wait for Team List Tuesday on that one. And Nathan Cleary, he's definitely out as well. So how's the squad going to shape up this week? I reckon that Harry Grant and his 61, he may get elevated in my team to vice captain. Maybe even captain as well. So we have to make a determination on that. Pretty happy with Ruben Cotter, Terrell May, a terrible 23, and Cam Murray, an uncharacteristic 48. So I'm hoping that he will bounce back. I hope that Terrell May will bounce back and Ruben Cotter is headed in the right direction. All of those guys are continuing to make money, except Murray. I think he has pretty much peaked or is likely just to plod along and deliver us some decent points. I may look to move him on when Souths are on the bye. That's still something that I'm considering for later on down the track. Salmon, 34, not amazing, but we'll take it. Fini Fuiaki, 29, is disappointing. I really want to see more attacking stats from Fini Fuiaki. Fogs, 84, as my captain, that's pretty disappointing. We were banking kind of somewhere around the 50 mark, so, that would have given us 100 points in total for the captain. It just goes to show how a game can kind of really influence some of these key players where they're absolutely knocking it out of the park. You don't necessarily need a Fogarty and his massive kicking game. So that's something that we probably need to look at in some of the head-to-head games we're kind of setting ourselves up for. So that's an interesting one. Now, Drew Hutchison, 31 is okay, but I am probably going to put him on the chopping block this week. Talangi, 19, disappointing, but he continues to make money, so we'll take it. Ethan Strange is a bit of a surprise packet. That 46 in center is amazing, and that's really what we're going to try and do this week is shore up that center position, and I'll talk about some of the strategies that we are going to do that. Pappenhausen, a disappointing 24. Turbo, really happy with that 66. Let's hope that he can continue with that. And Roger, 42, is a little bit disappointing. Would have definitely loved to see that around the 50 mark. So let's rub all this out and talk about what our strategies are going to be for this week coming. Because I've got some ideas that I hope you guys will agree will really help me sort of shore up our center position and our edges, because I think that's really my biggest weakness at this point in time, that and making sure we get our captaincy right in round 6. So here's the plan. So Trebojevic over here is likely to go, and Hutchison with his 31 is also likely to go. Now the plan would then be to elevate Ethan Strange up into the halves for 1 week. So we'll write that one down. I would then bring up Roger Tuivasa-Sheck into the center position as a center, CTR. And down here, we'll probably bring in someone like a Jaden Campbell, who is decently priced and capable of pumping out a decent score. So that would then give me Pappenhausen, Trebojevic, Jaden Campbell. This would be RTS, and then we'd bring in Jesse Arthurs into the center position. And if he can continue to score at this sort of rate or very close to it, I would be very, very happy with that indeed. Now that would mean that our halves pairing is Fogarty and Strange. Now I'm pretty happy if Ethan Strange can pump out a 46 and Fogs can improve that 84, at least for the short term. Okay, so keep in mind we have Lockie Galvin over here coming back, and we've got Nathan Cleary coming back. Now they're both back in 1 week's time, and that would mean our halves pairing is then Nathan Cleary and Fogarty, which I'd be then really happy with, especially knowing that we've also then got Ethan Strange as backup and Lockie Galvin as backup in that halves position. Next up is our edges. So we've got Salmon, who, look, is okay at 34. He makes money, but it's not really enough. And it's a similar sort of story with Fini Fuiaki. 29 is okay. He's making money, but it's not really enough. So the plan at this stage is to axe Burbo and replace Burbo with Angus Crichton. And I think that will then give us a bit more power in the second row, assuming that Angus Crichton really gets greater than 50 minutes. If he gets less than 50 minutes in the next game, he's absolutely going to burn us, and that will be very disappointing indeed. But I still think he can outscore both Fini Fuiaki and Salmon, even if he gets less minutes than that. Now, I know he didn't do that in his first 2 games, but he showed us what he could do in his last game where he absolutely blitzed it. I'm relatively happy with the mids. 56 is fine. Terrell May is just an anomaly. He'll bounce back. And Cam Murray is Mr. Consistency. That 48 there is pretty much his absolute floor, and I'm very confident he can boost it up from there. And Harry Grant, well, let's hope that that momentum continues and he continues to build on that week in, week out. On the bench, Danny Levi, look, 31 with a try is pretty atrocious for a hooker, but he continues to make us a lot of money actually now, so he will continue to be in my side for a little bit longer, maybe even through until the first major buy round. But the good news is we've got options thanks to this 45 with Lussick. He will continue to make money. At some stage, I'd probably love to consolidate down both of these guys to a Reece Robson. I think that would be the play long term there. Lockie Galvin, I'm pretty happy with him for now. He's fine. Sam Hughes and that 47 is awesome, but the target at some stage has to be to upgrade Sam Hughes into a better performing mid-tier gun. But I think at 302k, we're a long way away from that with Sam Hughes. Piakora, hopefully he's not too far away. But if he comes back into that edge role with Angus Crichton and they both perform, then I'm pretty happy with where they are. So you can see that hopefully my logic is in the right direction. And this team has the framework of a team that can deliver some decent and consistent points. At least that's what I'm hoping. Now, as you can see, my biggest problems really are my edges and my centers. So hopefully the moves we're making are starting to fix that. And then we can start really working on elevating those mids up to superstar guns, you know, the Payne Hasses and the Isaiah Yos. And then we can start working on that bench. So there you go, guys. Look, that is my team going into round 6. It gives you a little bit of an insight into round 5 and our performance, as well as my thinking in terms of the trades that we are likely to make going into this weekend's games of footy. So there you go. Look, if you've liked today's video, please smash that like button for me. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, guys, get involved in the conversation via the comment section down below. And I'll see you all in the next video.